Mr. Mankwa, me office was saying this cabane de awie project no. Eso de bia me office ka mane wo problem.
Enemremu. Na monte tap sending kan.
No so ne de.
Tap send here easy, fast and secured way. Ubetimi send this free amanone. Aba Ghana bank account and as a mobile money account. Untia transfer fee bia.
Sir, I obey any say.
Chirani say won ko App Store na Play Store. On download the tap send app no. Or download ya. Ebebu sanso promo code. Oma the pet TV shim. Obenya €5, £5, and answer $10 on his first transfer.
And you make kwa friend a catch them.
Tabi minyanwe. Esansa tap send at the good news aba. Tap send the giving the customers won't or the tap send wallet aba.
I know about any say.
So your customer who you cases here. Ubetimi ako tap send app no create wallet also. And it's a rate in the kosora now the sikako go wallet no. And I say, Pobetimi to Susun kakra. And Tiabre Sema, Opes send this Sikaba Ghana. No answer was send this Sikanaba Ghana. And I say, Oba my Ghana mua. What in here you Sika or wallet no. Tia.
And you said to say you sumo Ghana Haydu.
Sa pepe. Says here tap send that Renashim. Copium go United Arab Emirates, Netherlands, and Austria. Tap send now. Papa no.
This is Lawyer Wisdom of Wise Smart Solicitors. Join me this and every Friday on OT TV from 8 to 9 p.m. for all your UK immigration matters. I hope to see you there. Thank you.
Mema wajo ema wakwaba ene enwumrei edo eba eye OT Media TV jumadi a yatundin say time with tap send said every Thursday bia ye day ebrel no ene nfi nyame waye adom wakan ho wamayen abepiemu ewo jumadi so a na eye nadom arakwa Ebeda mu nyina so asese every Thursday bia no munya ebre na mo join ewo dwumadie so. Dwumadie bi nti makakopie baabi eni nti baabi a me wei na me di dwumadie efi a me de ebrew. Yo, abusuafo said de me ma unya na ntie no ene we are talking about property investment safe property investment in Ghana, safe property investment in Ghana. Na onipa ne menya no ene no eba betwin komo ewo dwumadie isi onyo hoho or you'll be when it comes to property investment in the UK, in Europe, and in Ghana, or experience bebre. And inti ene Mr. Wa Freuni bi na Frewa Danfu bi na kachen so non so on joining ewo dwumadie so na ye nyina ye ntwetwe enkomo se eye wa na opese wo si wo dan opese wo to dan opese wo dan kra wa sie dada wo de eye Airbnb service property ni nyina ene ye betwetwe ho enkomo ewo dwumadie so bidin ene nana kwame wasaitu Mamemfa asida kese emfa emma eye tap send adwumaku no ezan se womo eni kita mimu emma every Thursday bia mitimi edi dwumadie ebrew eni ti se matimi ababetena hanoma na eye tap send adaroma se wu tie me wo hwe me na wo en download ya na se wu use tap sender wo eye amonone eye UK Europe Canada America UAE then na mekanfo eye tap send the amount say any eno enabusuafo bi yusu the send zika ekobo abusuafo ewo my Ghana mu import say your project bi na wo ye ana say wo ye o plan say obekọ my Ghana mu ehun hia say odi sika be hye ho de akọ o my Ghana mu ukodu o my Ghana mu a rate obekọ akonya of forest brew no kra no ewo fempa nanso ukita wo tap send account a ubetimi asend it through tap send ebra wo Ghana de ama mobile money and as a bank account bia na watimi akoyi every bia ope ene kura de ode wallet beka ho na chese ama na ye anika ubetimi save you sika ewo tap send wallet mu nititu omo UK hanom na ene yesa nyane ntie se enche bia eye omo nso a omo wo Europe no tap send wallet edumu honom bosumi ya ye wo mu ya mamenko tap send asuye ehonom na owura Kofi Edu Frimpong wodi ni juma UK and Europe growth manager ono ye ne nkotwetwe nkomo de ehwe de ekoso o tap send asuye eno na chi no me de owura Douglas Oppong de bebro ono ene me guest enanwumre ya me ne ba betwetwe nkomo on property investment in Ghana. Owura Kofi Edu Frimpong me mawajo enwumre eba time with tap send ene day.
And I quite major also na meda wase bebre for akwenya every time biano tap send chance, even though the show is called Time with Tap Send, but without your platform no yetimi ma na ye your customers kasa na besa fasa kwan we so na machia your customers nyina na enchia kese no akwama Dr. Douglas ono de ye na aye adwuma will show you so for a very long time, and then I say every time we ever reach out to him, he comes to our aid. And then I see the way. So update from tap send. Tap send as some I can and they say wallet no. UK for one say saba. UK for I use wallet no close to 3 months. Omunya full 3 months, but a buy any who say it is solving a need. Or just say solve a very big need. Our Ghanaian community in request no it started from the show na da ben Europe now kopon adom abrewa yi poma Europe a check next 2 weeks there na obi ansa ke be starting releasing in batches, so probably obi will show you so abi we who say ya catch and say add funds to your wallet okay and so actually say you're special. Only one of the few testers are when you Europe. And so far, so good. Yenya complaints about people who have tested the product. And I can see, say, people are loading their wallet and they are using their wallet to send money. So I would say, thank you very much to our customers. They love our product and also love them. And in another way, the American say, wallet no the Europe, Saba. Now, I say, asembia no ya na terms and condition kakra wo. Terms and condition kakra ba ho Europe no. Europe payment methods is so different. On say UK the no man say ya ka say na nipa we num de omuntimi use. UK it was just people who were not verified KYC. Unfortunately, Europe the no there it has gone up to another level. And the level is in Europe no. Say Germany, not say use support. That is online banking and send this car. Unfortunately, ultimately use wallet because of the time. Itimi enya isika from support for no. And you can only use a direct debit or credit card to use the wallet in Germany. Same for people in the Netherlands. In Netherlands, payment method your credit card, debit card, and then ideal. So who use ideal payment, you cannot be on the wallet. Untimi and use wallet, And then the last group of people, the last but not the least, people in Belgium. Omo use payment method, dear friend, of bank contact. Bank contact so say ukita untimi because of the complications and the legalities around these 3 products, so forth, bank contact and ideal, I think Nana Kwame maybe Bessia say so further question be about you with me.
Yo, me da say ene nyame aya dom na tap send wallet enche bia Europe for so ebetimi ayusu mami embusa say nititru yenuanom ewo Europe no emfasode be pa na wallet yi omubenya ewo so is an say tap send e buy wallet yi ba UK nuanom a omo person mo ko Ghana omo ACC omo timi save sika e wo wallet ni mu Europe no nso no sen pa na agidi se ombenya so mfa so
wallet no se oba Europe
Kofi ente wonka
me the wallet una kwa me
online break kaka
wonku an afa de pa to temenka
ba so gina ba bia wo na nakasa yeti o
okay so the American say okay benefit so the American is the same benefit no okay I think say kasa me sa te me ho
it's okay now
okay enti the American say benefit no kese ewo mpa ne susu yes baby a wadru wo project we no dey 50,000 one kasa so hwe ho a 50 no ebi na ho with the wallet no you can save when you see said the rate is good no honey chat advocate say lock it up. I like that phrase so much. Or say lock it up. And the lock it up approach of the wallet, you know, rate ni young they are just lock it up. Now a kana open clear 50,000. You definitely can go and clear it. Wallet, you know, the who transfer from wallet. Now say the cano a katea. That's in a failure. You get your refund immediately back to your wallet. You don't have to wait 3 to 5 days. Oh yeah, what Germany got there on the so forth in the year of 7 to 10 business working days. It's a problem no. Eba solve it. No more waiting the almost charge you match then post pay. How there be to mama on load this scanning in a guso. Every time I will send this scanner, you just use the wallet as a payout method. Let me there a home fast one be brain. I mean sure say you roll it out Emma Obia we and me sure say OT media the mundi ehwamo. You give us another opportunity to come here and then do another presentation as we did for the people in the UK. So the people in Europe can also benefit from it.
Yo. Nani na say ye nuanom a ewo Europe omo at de ene obi nsu bebusa se na yen ewo America nso omo America brebe no mo hwe wallet nanim
o say tap no hwe mu ya awo no se ne awo ni die so no ba ye na se ye bie Bible mu a ehu se Genesis no ye kan Adam and Eve ansa na ekwo Cain and Abel America for mo na mo rate one am buy mo nya bot UK for ne PSC
I'm not live yet.
PSC edikin aba Europe for ye to aso so nya hu se second born aba de ne last born de ma trimu nya ode ebeba sisi a America de enche kra ebeba na America so omo ye ntafo oni ni nua Canada ye be lanchi tu ni nyina bom se ne be ya Canada for meka se ye nyina ye di dollar even though ba ku ye USD na ba ku ye CAD but omumi no aye ntafo no after Europe no ehonom na eba
yo Kofi ye beda se enanwumre ewo ebra wanya ede amaye ene abetwetwe nkomo efa eye
na kwa na nam ka so be breaking news no me say wallet ni ntino ma ba UK abesua ma besua wonders na UK for customers na yen enti na asem hu se metisum UK dum so wa ha enti metisum Germany we been see that semetna show so amu hu manim ya abusua for mpacho mu UK sisi a ene mehia na kwa me just say ya bon komo kama on fama nkodi na de na so me ne dai manya Uber driver bi o si o be kire me baby papa mama didi ntino
Kofi yemfansia nanka anye bia kaminu nyina na ye shoyi indika esa o twen na ge ye shoyi wi a no aga za me kopediane adi de mami fansia mami nka ho asem na yentoa show no so akire ne aka no back door abusia for ora Kofi adu frimpon na ote ne nka ene anwumre e wo dwumadie so ampani ampa yes dwumadie bi de no aba bepie mu wɔ UK and nti ne sɛ ne background no anye sɛ de na uhu ne da bia na wɔnam wantimi antwɛn ama yɛ nyinaa yɛ anye show na anwie on de ɔsɛ kom de no yo abusuafo sɛ de kofi edi kan wallet no ho asɛm wallet no UK ɛna start efiye yentie obi asɛm a ɔno ayusu wallet no sɛ de nani agye wallet no ho ɛne sɛ de wallet no aboa no yetie saa video ni wia yɛbɛba na afei me de me guest ma introduce me guest at the amount na ya to adwumadie no so producer sɛ wɔ hɔ no ma me ɛyɛ wallet testimonial.
Okay, hello. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate TapTap for a wonderful job so far. I've been a customer for TapTap for the past 2 years, and I'm really enjoying it. Lately, I met A-Class Photography, and we had a good chat. He introduced me to the wallet. As I'm speaking to you now, I've got 5,000 in my wallet. So what happens is, if the rates go down, I still have that money locked up in my wallet. So I don't need to worry about the rate. Whether the rate is going up or is going down, I don't need to worry about it. I have it locked up in my wallet and I can go to the wallet and send it anytime that I want. So I'm introducing it to you. I hope TapTap is going to keep up the good work. If possible, later in the year, transfer from TapTap to TapTap. We're looking forward to that. So hopefully we could get to that point. But for now, I'd like to say thank you for TapTap for the wonderful work they're doing so far. And we hope they continue to give us a good service review and offering for us all this while. Thank you so much, TapTap.
TapTap said, oh, I was my baby, you're from Calabos, the only boss. With oneness, baby, I will be everywhere I day and everywhere they go. TapTap Send got me covered. If you need to send money or transfer money from Europe, from Canada, from USA, from UK, any part in Europe, you can send it through TapTap Send. And guess what? Oceania, they will receive it right here in Ghana and many countries across Africa. So what are you waiting for? Download TapTap Send now on Google Play Store or App Store. When you download, it's so easy to use. Tell your families, tell your loved ones to download TapTap Send. Okay? But also, when I receive my money, the other time I would have channel, like my view, no, hey, you crazy.
Download TapTap Send now on Google Play and App Store. TapTap Send, it's secure, convenient, easy, and fast.
Yo. Yo, was for me, my Wakaba BMO Edo Eba OT Media TV. Jumedia friend said, time with TapTap Send with yourself and Nana Kwame Oseitu. And then you may ye barber kitchen and Komo ye barber kitchen a topic beer. Me giddy say, ye na ye oko you sunina a hunya and papa. We are talking about safe property investment in Ghana. Safe property investment in Ghana. Eba a year property who has some my Ghana mo a honsem no eye bebre. Nanso enanyumre yenya ura Douglas Oppong say eba no say UK property investment wo hunim de ekwa Europe or hunim de enene odinani achre Ghana wo di ni juma ewo my Ghana mu ono enene yato nsa afre no say yene no eba betwetwe enkomo ewo dwumadie so na ansa na mede ura Douglas Oppong ede bebrel no ma yenhwe sa video yi yewie pe Mr. Douglas Oppong why ready so ne betwetwe enkomo producer.
Are you from Ghana, Africa, or the Caribbean, and you live the diaspora life in the USA, UK, Canada, Europe, Australia? You worked so hard doing menial jobs or climbing the corporate ladder to become a nurse, social worker, doctor, accountant, and all that you have become. You also made savings to buy a property.
After living in the diaspora, for 38 years. Now at the age of 63, my uncle has finally relocated to Zambia to live in his 6-bedroom house, which took him 9 years to complete. Unfortunately, my uncle now lives in the living room of the house downstairs, while his caretaker now lives in his huge master bedroom upstairs. This is because my uncle cannot climb the stairs without the help of another person. Even with the help, it takes him 15 minutes to make the climb. That's why he has decided to stay in the living room downstairs, because all the 6 bedrooms are upstairs. The house has a living room, toilet, kitchen, and storeroom downstairs. And all the bedrooms, including the master bedrooms, are upstairs on the second last floor. This is not how my uncle anticipated his retirement, but that is the reality of his journey. My uncle spent 38 years doing manual jobs abroad, hoping to come and retire back home in his mansion and enjoy life. Now he has no life to enjoy. Someone else is now living in his master bedroom. My uncle is not even able to enjoy a bottle of fine wine at his age because it will shoot up his blood sugar level. Yet he said he was working hard all his life in order to enjoy life, which includes eating and drinking the finest foods and drinks when he retires. Now he is only able to eat fruit and vegetable salad. And even that, without dressing, he cannot even enjoy any of the fine meat without his cholesterol sending warning signs. That is the life of my uncle in retirement. And it will be the life of many other Zambians who are abroad and building mansions back home. The best thing to do is to take mini retirements now and enjoy the luxuries of life now that you still have strength to do so. May God give you wisdom to learn a lesson from the story of my uncle.
Me mau eti abaywa bi a chese owo Zambia oka ne uncle ehun asem na megiri se utie no you can relate to this story ene enkoma ye ba betwitwi ye hwe se wa usi wudan ana se opese wokoto edan ana se wusi na watnemu ana se wodi ahai ye hwe problems a ewo when it comes to uncompleted buildings ewo oman Ghana mu na afi ya hwe ni ebusa ye ho se anye bia se edan kura ye adwen se ye pesi enya property oman Ghana mu a ye yan kasa yensi anase ye nkoto na ya hwe location legal issues lease any market trending ehun asem ene anwumre tino ene nkomo twetwe no ade bia ebeye anika pa eni ti bomodin a obetimi afre onua bi anadamfo bi no so enjoy ni Sabri. Mr. Oppong, are you ready? Mr. Oppong, a very good evening and welcome to the show. I can't hear you. So, producer, if you can check Mr. Douglas Oppong mic for me. Mr. Oppong, can you check your mic for me? Yeah, your mic is on. Oh, it's on mute now. Yeah. I can hear you. Producer, can you check? Mr. Oppong, can you talk? Let me see if I can hear you. All right. If you can go off and come back again, maybe it can't help. Me Chow, can somebody hear Mr. Oppong? Can somebody, if you can hear him, just type yes, I can hear him. If not, we will take one quick ad break, and when we come back, I'm sure nobody can hear him. So let's go for a quick one ad break, and I'm sure when he comes back, it will be okay for us to talk to him. So producer, give me just one ad, and we will be right back.
Have you been to Aqua Safari lately? Let me share my experience with you at the new Aqua Safari Resort. When you arrive, you're greeted by warm smiles and introduced to your 24-hour butler who already has your itinerary sorted. Enjoy water sports activities like jet ski rides, kayaking, water sliding, flyboarding, and castnet fishing. You can even have your lunch here on the boat cruise. Experience horseback riding, tennis, and some golfing amongst a host of other activities. Let the tour guides take you through the sceneries of the Volta River, the mangrove forest, the friendliness of the animals, local and exotic birds, while you pet and feed them. You can have this large space for your conferences, corporate retreats, and so many activities as part of the package. We chose to have our breakfast with a beautiful sunrise right in front of our cabin. We had an amazing experience and I can't wait to return for more.
Visit Aqua Safari Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
Nice one. Thank you for your patience, and I'm sure by now Mr. Oppong is ready to talk to us. Mr. Oppong, very good evening and welcome to the show once again. We can still hear you. We can't hear you. If you can check your microphone for us. I can see your mic is on, but when you talk, we can't hear you. Check your audio settings for us, if possible. Your audio settings. Audience, my apologies. We will try and resolve this technical hitch as quickly as possible, and we will get into the conversation. Save property investment in Ghana. Save property investment in Ghana with Mr. Douglas Oppong. Mr. Oppong, are you okay? Yeah, I can see you talking, but the audio feed is not coming through. Your audio feed is not coming through. We still can't hear you. All right, let's quickly pick one more ad, and Mr. Oppong can go off the Zoom, then you try come in again and use your computer audio, and I'm sure it should be able to pick it. Mr. Douglas Oppong happens to be the CEO of Angel Finance Group. He also owns properties here in the UK, run property business here in the UK, and now running property business in Ghana. So when it comes to property industry, he has a lot of experience to share with us this evening. That's why we invited him to come and share his experience with us, especially when it comes to the Ghana property market. So please bear with us. I'm sure we will sort his technical issue very soon, and we'll be talking to him shortly. Producer, let's pick one ad break. And when we come back, we'll be talking to Mr. Douglas Oppong.
Introducing Nature's Secret for Health and Wellness. Turkey Berry Organic Premium Tea. Unlock the power of wellness with Turkey Berry Organic Premium Tea. Made from the powerful turkey berry, locally known as abedru. Our tea is packed with natural goodness. Simply brew a cup and you're on your way to a healthier you. Experience increased vitality and a boost to your immune system with every sip. 100% organic, pure goodness from the earth. Our Turkey Berry Organic Premium Tea is your secret to an invincible immune system. Turbocharge your health and keep those seasonal bugs at bay. Raise your iron levels naturally and rekindle your energy. Boost your vitality, kickstart your day, and embrace life with enthusiasm. Discover the secret to sustainable weight loss. Turkey Berry Tea helps you shed those extra pounds naturally and effortlessly. Visit our website now and order your Turkey Berry Tea. Experience the difference and unlock a healthier and more vibrant you.
Right. I'm sure by now Mr. Oppong is ready for us. Mr. Douglas Oppong, a very good evening and welcome to the show once again. Hello, Mr. Oppong.
A very good evening to you. Can you hear me?
Finally, we can hear you. Finally. Nice one. I can hear 2 devices on, so if you can mute one of the devices, that would be great. We are getting a feedback. All right, cool.
Okay.
Thank you very much once again for joining us on this show. This is not the first time of we having you on this show, so you are not a new person to us. But maybe somebody who haven't met Mr. Oppong before, who haven't talked to you before, who doesn't even know who Douglas Oppong is. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm a jack of all trades, master of everything. Does that sum it up?
Jack of all trades, master of everything. Yes. Nice one.
Master of everything.
Nice one.
Yes.
Nice.
Originally, I'm a chartered accountant. Yeah. I've been a chartered accountant for years now. I've climbed the corporate ladder, worked as a financial director. I found myself working as financial director at the top of the tree in real estate. But, it started when I was a child, and I lived in one room with 3-4 siblings at a time. And I looked at friends who I went to school with, who I could beat academically in class. But when we came home, I had to go to their houses to fetch water. And I wondered, what is happening here? You go to their houses, they have rooms, their shoes are all lined up very nicely. But I come to my house and 4 of us are sharing the same room. But when I go to school, I beat these boys and girls academically. So I'm wondering, what went wrong? And so my biggest ambition in life was when I grew up to have a home like my friends and classmates so that I could also be comfortable. As life will have it, many years later, I became a chartered accountant. I find myself in England. And one of the key things I did was to become a chartered accountant. I found myself working in the real estate industry, in housing and in finance. When you visualize something, when you put something inside your mind, you may forget it when you're a child, but it becomes manifest in your life as you grow up, because the universe has the way of capturing things that you have imagined in your life as a child. And for me, that is what happened. And so I worked to the top of in the finance industry, in real estate. working for a lot of housing associations, developers. And so I picked up a lot of things, and I then, moved on from there because I had done it all at the top of the tree in finance and real estate. So I decided to set up Angel Finance Group some almost 19, 20 years ago. And we've been in real estate and finance and tax. And so that has been my background. But up until 10 years ago or less, Ghana was not something I wanted to do. Because when I was growing my real estate portfolio, within 5 years, I grew my real estate portfolio to 16 properties, 22 properties by 2005. And I was running all of these by myself. Ghana was not on my radar, I must admit. But after some time, I decided that, okay, let's look at Ghana. In the last 10 years, I can tell you that I've been in Ghana, I'm doing things in Ghana. And if you're talking about real estate investment and yields, Africa and Ghana is where you need to look at. So that has been my background. And I've been helping a lot of people. We've helped so many people in the UK buy properties well over 200 million. We financed a lot of people here. And so we're doing the same in Ghana at the moment. And so my focus and my team's focus right now is about how people can safely invest in Ghana. If you look at Ghana, and we're talking about just Ghana, Accra, Kumasi, Takoradi, there is so many uncompleted buildings across. And if you think I'm lying, just take a trip, a day trip, looking for uncompleted buildings. Plenty of them. A lot of them live in the diaspora, Europe, America, Canada, UK. One, either they have borrowed money and are building and can't complete. Two, they've completed the building, but they are not ready to move to Ghana with their family because they've had families here in Ghana. I mean, in the UK and other places. So the property is sitting there, gathering dust, or you put a family member who doesn't even like you, and yet you're paying for the loans here. So my remit is to find out how we can help people safely invest in property in Ghana and make sure that they're not shortchanged.
How one can safely invest in property in Ghana. So, I mean, with your experience now investing in properties in Ghana, if one decides to go into property investment, whether to live, as to build or to buy, either for buy to let, what would be your advice for somebody who is listening to us now? If somebody right now thinking of going into property investment, would you advise the person to build or to buy?
Thank you. It's a very brilliant question, Kwame. But you see, let's look at the dynamics of it. Why would somebody want to go and buy a property or build a property in Ghana? You see, us who live in the diaspora, whether it's our children who were born here or those of us who came to Europe and America and Canada and UK, it is a status symbol to want to do something back home. You know, pardon my chi, wababruchre donkey years, wabetnaha, wabobra, ebusuya ton gold name, omuka ni omunyama, omufie di amawa babruchre. And you've come here as the ambassador of the family. What are you doing? What have you done to show that you've actually come to live here? So building property back home is a status symbol. We are psyched like that in Ghana. And so people do it without necessarily thinking about the financial, ramifications of it. So they build 5-bedroom house, 6-bedroom house, and they leave it there, but they are not ready to move there. So the question as to whether you buy or build is dependent on what you really want to do with your property.
It depends on what you really want to do with your property. I mean, yeah, Tiabrochi, hey, Yebeku fear 2 weeks be 3 weeks be. Now, so you see a dine kakra. ebia baby sinimpono ebia yen village baby enesi. I mean obi a waba bridge bia I want to show say ampa waba bridge nti say Accra dan a ana say Kumasi dan ana say ukrom ankasa mpo a opese usi dan e wo hono mo. Mr. Oppong, as a property investor, what would be your advice for us living in the diaspora thinking of investing in property in Ghana? What would be your advice?
Well, I think my advice will be born out of my experience. I built a property to go and live in Ghana, but I don't live in Ghana. My family is still in the UK. I would visit the property once or twice, once every 2 years. But I was paying bills from here. The water bill was here. And when I visited the property, there was doom so sometimes I'll not even sleep in the property. I'll go and sleep in a hotel. And the property was empty. What was the rationale for building the property like that? And remember, building a property for anybody who is on this platform who is building, any children's feet, it's not easy. You spend a lot of money. You take loans from your bank. All your savings go into that. And sometimes we shortchange our lives here in Europe and UK. We don't eat the right food. We don't go to the right restaurants. We don't drive in the right cars. We don't sleep in nice places because we want to build a house back home. It takes a lot. We put in the shifts, the hours, doing so many jobs. And yet the house we built, after we've built it, we don't even go to live in it. That retirement, like the girl in your preamble video said, the uncle built the property in the hope of retirement. And when he finally retired, he was sick. He couldn't climb upstairs to the lavish bedroom and bathrooms that he had actually said. He was living in the living room. So that is the issue that people have. So depending on what you want to do with your property, you can either go and build. If you're already building, then go and complete it and monetize the property. And that is what we're going to be talking about tonight, how you're going to monetize your property investment in Ghana.
Right. And a property investment in Ghana, either say over talk with cash, and now say over approach some of these lenders in Ghana to give you a mortgage loan. What would be your advice? Me, I mean, say Sika, na me fancy me dying kakra, and I say me inko approach lender be no mommy loan. Na me fan koto dying my Ghana.
Kwame, thank you again. It depends on what you want to do, but I think, sir, right now, the whole idea of buying land. Now, we're not even going to talk about land issues, especially if you live in Accra. The land issues that you're going to have, the registration of the land and all the title deeds and all the issues, the headache that you can't get even in Accra. Places like Kumasi, Takoradi, Tamale, Sunyani, perhaps over there, the land issues are not too bad. So if you are somebody who is building a retirement home, then you want to, if you're building a retirement home, then maybe you want to build it the way that you want it. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
So if you're building a retirement home for when you want to go and live back home, then you can build a retirement home, you kakra, save and build until you know that you are not going to live there now because you're still building your family in Europe and America, Canada. And so you go there and once you finish, you go there on a holiday, you stay there for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and you lock it up and come back. If you have that money, that is cool. It's a retirement home. So you're not looking to monetize for the property to make you money. But even with that, the money, the savings that you've saved and the money you've made, the loans you've taken to build a house in retirement, what if, God forbid, you never get to retire to live in that house? What if circumstances change and you decide that you don't even want to go and live in that village or that place that you build a house, you want to live somewhere else. What if? Can you sell the property? The problem we have in Ghana, there is no mature secondary market. When I say secondary market, I mean here in the UK, in the US, you can, if you are going to buy a property, it's not necessarily a brand new property. A property somebody's lived in, they no longer feel their circumstances right and they're selling, you go and buy, you do it up, you stay in it. That is what we know. But in Ghana, it's the primary market. Everybody's looking for brand new house. And so when you buy the new house, selling it becomes a problem because there is no fluid financial architecture, mortgages, finances to help people to buy from the secondary market. And so if you are building to go and live in retirement, that is okay. But if you have the idea that it's going to be your holiday home, then location, location, location. If it's going to be your holiday home, then build a property if you're already building. If you're already building, you bought the land and you're building, my advice to you, get it completed as quickly as possible. If you need finance, you live in the UK, you need finance, please contact us. We will help you finance the property, okay? But if you want to build a retirement home and you haven't bought land yet, you're still thinking about going to buy land and build, my advice to you, it's not necessary. Don't do it. Look for established property developers. And in fact, right now, there are very good property developers in Ghana. We've got Deftraco, we've got Cape May Properties, we've got Trasaco. There's a lot of these and smaller individual real estate developers. They're all there. They're all developing. So my advice to you, instead of buying land and cracking your head with all the legal issues, go and buy a property. That way, if you're not there, that property can become your ATM, cash machine for you. Because when you're back here, that property can be rented on a short hold tenancy long-term, or it can be used on a short-term rental basis, Airbnb, and will be making you some money. At least you're not forking money from your pocket to take care of it.
Right. Talking about buying from estate developers, what are some of the things that we should be looking out for when you are buying property from an estate developer?
This is a very fantastic question. A friend of mine will say that everybody has their challenges. And in the real estate industry in Ghana, there are bigger challenges, especially with the developers. Nukredie anyhow, Ghana, Yankanokre. If you buy a property from Barracks, from David Dean Homes, from L&Q in the UK, and they tell you the spec of the property, nothing changes. They tell you that this is what we're going to provide. Nothing changes. They tell you that you cannot use the property for this. Nothing changes. They tell you you can use the property for this. Nothing changes. It is not the case in Ghana. So if you're buying property from a real estate developer, read the small print. Make sure you see exactly the specification of the property, the material they're going to use, and also all the management issues that are going to come out. You need to get these right. Else your investment can be a nightmare for you. So in the UK and other Western countries, if we're buying property, we use lawyers, legal people to do it. In Ghana, unfortunately, we don't use lawyers. We don't use lawyers to buy property, which is something that I find very, very interesting. You can go with your money to a developer, buy the property, and if it's not a mortgage, they don't even do valuation. No valuation is done. You have your money, you buy the property, that's it. And so the developer and you have issues, nobody is there to defend you. There's no lawyer because they didn't buy the property through a lawyer. In the UK, you don't buy a property and send the money to the bank account of the developer. It's not done. You send the money through your lawyers who send it to the developer. And in fact, they send it to the developer's lawyers. So what there is lack of in Ghana is legal, in the way the law system works. So if you're buying a property, find a lawyer to lead you so that they would liaise with the developer. That way, the nightmares can be reduced.
And I'm very sure, some of us who are on this call might be thinking like myself. Because, Mr. Oppong, sometimes when we think of going to pay legal fee, we will cut corners and go to the developer ourselves. But we don't think about some of the things that can cost us without using a lawyer when we want to buy a property. Mr. Oppong, talking about some of the legal issues when it comes to buying property, so we should use a lawyer. Let's look into lease. These days in Ghana, we don't have, is it freehold, but it's leasehold. Can you take us through that? And also, when it comes to property investment, we talk about location. What would be your advice to us when it comes to location issues and lease and market trends?
Yes, I think you've touched on three key things. One is the location factors, the other one is leases, and the one is market trends. I think I'll take these in different.
Mr. Oppong, your audio, we can't hear you again. Your audio. Mr. Oppong, can you please check your audio for me?
Home in a village in Obuasi or Bekwai, where my mom comes from, and I want to go live there. I'm not thinking about monetization of it. No, I'm thinking retirement, that I live longer enough to be able to retire. But if I'm buying a property as a holiday home in a city, then the location is extremely important. One, because if you live in the diaspora and you don't necessarily live there forever, permanently, you want the property to be getting something for you. And once the property is in a good location, you can rent it out. Normal, short hold tenancy, 1 year, 2 years, and then at least somebody's living in it. But again, the disadvantage of that is at the time you go on holidays, you have nowhere to live. You go and tell people, they point out to their house, oh, that house, me fear you, that is my house. But you built it for retirement as a holiday home, but you're not using it as that, you're renting it. So that means your mindset is to rent the property. So location is extremely important. As far as the trends, the market trends are concerned, at the moment, I believe, from my experience of Ghana real estate, because of chronic land issues, if you haven't bought the property already, even if you bought the property you're about to build, the new kid on the block is apartments. What is the use in building 5-6 bedroom house on a big plot of land and don't live in it, or just you and your family is still living here, you go there occasionally? Why don't you be wise? Why don't you build apartments complex, 6 apartments, 8 apartments, 5 apartments, 4, even 4. You go live in one when you go, and the 3 can be rented either on a short hold tenancy, tenants in it normally, or on short-term rental if you can run it like that. So, Bejimi Breno Echem, if you've got land, Bejimi Breno Echem, where you've got land, you're going to build that 5-6 bedroom house. That period is gone. Build apartments on that land. Take one of those apartments, go and live in it if you can. If you go there, lock it up because you can afford to lock it up, and rent the 3 so that the property, the land you bought with your sweat and blood is making money for you. And believe you me, the cost of building the apartment, the 4 apartments on the land, the same land, is probably going to be the same as building your 6-bedroom house. So that is the trend now. The trend now too is, if you only have one property and you've bought it in an apartment complex or a house, a 3-bedroom house in Manette or any of these development places, then you will be able to say, okay, if I'm not going to that property, then can I monetize it? Can I make money from it? Yes, you can. Barack Obama says, yes, you can. You can make the property your ATM machine. How? Running like a hotel on serviced accommodation. Airbnb, everybody knows about Airbnb. So I use that colloquial term, Airbnb. So run it as a hotel. Find somebody to manage it for you. List it out there. So wherever you're going, the calendar is blocked. You go live in your own house. You built it yourself, your sweat and blood. Enjoy it. And when you're no longer there, you come, the place is done like a hotel. I teach how to turn your property into an ATM cash machine in Africa. I teach that in my online course, and it's just about to be launched. So viewers look up to it. I'll put something on the chat place for you to link up and be able to register for that. And the third one is the leases. The leases is extremely, extremely important. In the UK, we have freeholds. Freehold, you buy the land and the property. In Ghana, when you buy the land, even the land is a lease. Is the chieftaincy, the kingdom, or the chief or the family that owns the freehold. So even when you bought the land, it's still a leasehold. But that is not a big issue when you bought a land and you are building it. That's not an issue. The real contentious issues are where you buy apartments. Because the developer has bought a land. And so the developer has a relationship with the family that owns the land. The developer has a relationship with the kingdom, the chief. So they now have to, in Chi, they say, oh, hold the amount. They are cutting a bit of the lease for you. They are giving you part of the lease. So you need to be careful when you're buying an apartment to make sure that the lease is what they say it is. In Ghana, I think they make it from 50 years for foreigners up to 76 years for Ghanaian original. So if you are in the diaspora and you don't have a Ghana card, from today, make sure you get a Ghana card, because that also impacts on the number of years lease you can have. If you're a foreigner, you can't challenge when they give you 50 years. But if you're Ghanaian with a Ghanaian Ghana card ID, you can challenge it and say, look, it's got to be 65 years, it's got to be 70 years, whatever years, you can challenge it. So leases are very important. The reason leases are important is because when the lease is short, it's 50 years, and you've owned the property for 20 years, there's only 30 years left. If you're selling that property, it will be difficult for you to get somebody to buy it in the secondary market because the lease is short. It's the same here in the UK. If a property is 99 years, you've lived in it 30 years, and the 70 years, you have to pay for extra money. You have to pay extra money for the lease. And because the lease is short, the property price can even drop because the lease is short. So those same things happen in Ghana, and you've got to be very careful and make sure that your lease actually stacks up. What the developer says they will give you, they do actually give you. I hope I've answered all your three questions.
You've done a wonderful job on those three key points. With every investment, we say there's risk and reward. the higher the risks, the higher the reward. Right. So I will ask, what are some of the risks which is associated with property investment, and how can one manage those risks?
Well, the risks, I will divide the risks into three. The first risk is the financial risk, okay? As I advocated, if you're going to buy a property, for example, particularly if you're buying a property, try and buy it off plan. And before they even put the brick to the floor or to the ground, a lot of these Ghanaians, compared to America, Ghanaians and Americans are best at it. UK, we are not very good at it. And I know the industry very well. Ghanaians are extremely good with the marketing. The property developers, oh my God, they will sell your mother's knickers and you don't even know it. They will do the brochures. Your mother's knickers to you, and you don't know it's your mother's knickers.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
Yeah, they do the brochures. They give you the 3D designs, architectural designs. They put all of that in, but in reality, and tell you that completion is in 24 months. So payment plan is X. So the risk there is you putting your money and then completion not happening at the time. Remember, you borrowed the money, or you've taken your savings, you've paid deposit, or you've put it on the property in the hope that completion would happen. And so you've made your calculations that up after completion, you're going to start getting rent for it to pay the loans that you have borrowed. So when they don't complete, and they often do not complete on time, that is the risk that you have to. So if you're buying real estate in Ghana, that is one risk. Do I put my money in, and will they complete on time? The second risk is, after completion, how do you rent the property? Will you rent it on a short hold, which is just 1 year, 3 months, 1 year or 2 years, take your money in bulk and run? Or do you want to do it on short term? When we started buy to let over 20 years ago here in the UK, all we knew was you buy the property, rent it to tenants. That's it. And you take monthly rent. In Ghana, they take 1 year, 3 months in advance, whatever, So they do all of that. So that is one risk that you've got to calculate and find out if it works for you. The third one is the risk of refinancing the property. So if you've borrowed money to buy a property or to build a property, you ask yourself, is there a possibility I can get my money out of the property? Yes, there is. You can go to a lot of these financial institutions. I won't name names, but one that comes into my mind is FNB Bank, previously Ghana Home Loans. You can go to them and say, look, I've got a property, I've bought it, I've completed it. I want to take equity from the property. You probably bought it for $100,000. The property is worth maybe $150,000. So, you struggle to put the money there. You want to take some money and enjoy your life, or reinvest in another business or venture. They will give you the money. So you calculate the risk of actually taking the money from them against your property, and you extract the equity from it, and then you go and develop another one or buy another one. That is how you expand. So those are the key risks that you would look at if you are investing in real estate in Ghana, because the secondary market, as I said, is not very fluid. Buying your property, keeping it for some time, and selling it, very few buyers come out. It's not the same as it is in the UK, Europe, America, or Canada.
Right. My last question, and I will allow my audience also to come in. Now, more question bia so ebusa. We've heard there is a housing deficit in Ghana, huge one. I have maybe the opportunity to go into property business. As a property investor, can you tell us a little bit about the demand and supply? Because I need to know this before I lock my money in property in Ghana. So can you tell us a bit more about when it comes to the demand and supply in property business in Ghana?
You know what they say? They said with property, you cannot lose. And I have tested it here in the UK and in Ghana, and I think property is one of the safest investment vehicles. I've tried bonds, I've tried shares, I've tried what they call in Ghana treasury bills with the CD going like a yo-yo, all of those. I've tried all of those. But for me, I'm a real estate guy, core and core, and I think property is one of the safest investments that you can make. But then again, it's all about what your game plan is and what your exit strategy is. You don't go into business or property investment without an exit strategy. Exit strategy is, after some time, when the property no longer serves you, do you want to sell it? After some time, when the property no longer meets your circumstances, what do you want to do? You want to take equity from the property? Do you want to do a JV with the property? Do you want to use it as a collateral for the business venture that you want to do? So what is your exit property? Or do you just want to build a retirement home and leave it so that when you die, you can will it to your family? Whatever your exit strategy, that determines how you enter real estate. My exit strategy in real estate is two-pronged. One, I wanted to have properties in Ghana that would make me money. In fact, my original was to buy a property and live in it, like the status thing, 3-bedroom house when I go. But I realized that based on my experience and expertise here, running Airbnb in the UK, I said, let me try this in Ghana. And it's working, fantastic. I have an ATM machine. In fact, 16 or 17 to 20 ATM machines in Ghana. Every one of them gives me money every day. I live in the UK, and I literally don't use the money I make in UK. I use the money I make in Ghana because I have ATM machines there. That is my strategy. But what is my exit strategy? My exit strategy, at some point, I'll sell off some of these properties when I'm older and leave a few that are making me more, the bigger cash. And then I'll just put my feet up at Labadi Beach or Kokrobite Beach and then enjoy Pina Colada.
I was here for Mr. Douglas Oppong and then you bring me
Pina Colada.
That's the one, my baby.
Waka Sally, who person you may go trimby crown, Nyabutre.
Prince me help, yes, Ebia.
Prince, let's take a break, please. Let's take a break and I'll take a question. Yeah.
Nice one. I will take a quick ad break, and when I come back, I'll open the floor for questions. So get ready. If you are watching us on Facebook, YouTube, you can put your questions in the comment section. I will read them for Mr. Oppong to answer. You can also put your question in the chat room. Mr. Oppong will answer to all those questions. When it comes to property investment in Ghana, a quick ad break, and we'll take a video as well. Producer.
Mr. Mankwa, me offer was say ni ska banie de awie ni project no. Eso de bia me offer sika ma ne wo problem.
Enemre mu. Na monte tap sending kan.
No so ne de.
Tap send here easy, fast and secured way. Ubetimi send this sika free amanone. Aba Ghana bank account and as a mobile money account. Untia transfer fee bia.
Sir, I obey any say.
Chine say won ko App Store na Play Store. On download the tap send app no. Or download ya. Ebebu sanso promo code. Oma the pet TV shim. Obenya €5, £5, and answer $10 on his first transfer.
And you make kwa friend a catch them.
Tabi minyanwe. Esansa tap send at the good news aba. Tap send the giving the customers wanti or the tap send wallet aba.
I know about anything.
So your customer who UK sia. Ubetimi akọ tap send app no no create wallet woso. Enti se rate ne kosora now the sika ko gu wallet no. Anase mpo betimi atu susu nkakra. Enti abre sema opeso send sika ba Ghana no. No anse wa send sika na ba Ghana. Anase oba o my Ghana mu. What in here you sika e wa wallet no no. Tie.
And you said to say you su momo Ghana hey do.
Sa pepe. Se see a tap send that trainer shim. Kopium wo United Arab Emirates, Netherlands and Austria. Tap sender now. Papa no.
Are you from Ghana, Africa, or the Caribbean, and you live the diaspora life in the USA, UK, Canada, Europe, Australia? You worked so hard doing menial jobs or climbing the corporate ladder to become a nurse, social worker, doctor, accountant, and all that you have become. You also made savings to buy a property or build a property in your motherland in the hope that one day you will return to live there. That is the dream of so many of us. Yet the property is sitting there, you only visit it once or twice every 2 years. And you pay the bills for the property, yet you still live in the country of residence. And you leave a housekeeper, and better still, a family member you don't even like to stay in the property for you. I have been in there, and it is a painful thing to be in. Hi, my name is Douglas Oppong. I'm author of the book, Pocket Without Holes, 7 Pillars to Support Your Financial Habits and Decisions. I'm a property investor and a consultant. The best part is, you can make money from the property you bought or built in your home country. I've set up an entire workshop for you to attend, which only takes an hour and gives you the tools you need to make it happen. It's completely free workshop. It costs you nothing to attend. All you have to do is click the link below and have complete access to the training. So click the link below and I'll see you on the other side.
So there was no any link below, but Mr. Douglas Oppong will share his contact details in the chat room for you to engage with him after this conversation. Sabri, who question be umre se ubitimi ebusa question. So all your questions are welcome this evening when it comes to property investment in Ghana. Yeah, starting with Liz. Liz, please unmute yourself now for our question, bro.
Good evening, for Mr. Oppong Edase. Now, Edase, so Mr. Oppong. Mr. Oppong, Pacho, time be who announce where you can angel finance. Can you talk a bit about your angel finance, please? Thank you.
I think that question there, Kwame can answer. Kwame, do you want to answer that?
Right. Angel Finance Group happens to be a group of companies, accounting and finance, property, and estate agents, mortgages as well. Yeah. So this was something that he has been involved for a very long time now. Mr. Oppong, you can add a bit more.
Yeah, Angel Finance Group is the group of companies I founded 20 years ago. We have accountancy and tax in UK. We also do mortgages. We have the Care Business Academy. We set up care homes, supported living, and I can talk to you all day long. I think, Kwame, next time we have to do health and social care, supported living. So we also set up care homes that go through the CQC regulatory framework and everything else. So we've got a business that deals with care, supported living, and all of that. And we also have real estate in UK as well as Ghana as well. In Ghana, we've registered a company called B&B Continental, and that manages one of the Douglas Luxury Apartments. So if you go to douglasluxuryapartment.com, that is our short-term rental Airbnb business in Ghana. So Angel Finance Group is the mother umbrella for all these companies that we have, accountancy and tax, mortgage finance, real estate, health and social care in the UK, and also property and short-term rental in Ghana.
Right. Let's pick Frank. Frank, you. Please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Thank you very much, Nana, for the opportunity.
You're welcome, sir.
Mr. Douglas, I was in on church now, the Abano. I'm saying, man, joining them because my man them. Now, Kakrana Mete and Pessimi Bisa, who make key comments be said, if you want to get into development, and the development that you want to get into, I feel now twice I say blah 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 is not advisable. I just want to find out, say, Obi, are you interested in getting into estate developing? Now, what to me acquire about 4.5 acres of land. I'll pursue comment say 4-story apartments on the land. No, will you advise the person say at the moment, no? With the economy in Ghana, on continue and I say undiverted all over. Non talk like you were saying, say there are some uncompleted buildings, no. Is that what you advise that person to do? And second question, if you will advise say on continue with the plan now, with that angel now Mrs. Tanika, no, is there any financial support there, maybe to me, I help such a person, and thank you.
That is a big one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Loaded.
I think you went there when I was given the different scenarios. I said that if you are going to buy land to build for yourself as an individual, my recommendation is for you to buy from real estate developers. If you're going to build, to go and live in it for yourself. But if you bought land to develop as a developer, then that is a completely different kettle of fish. That is laudable. I think it's a good thing. And just today, I had a meeting with somebody who is building 4-bedroom and 3-bedroom houses in Spintex, and we're working to see how we can get going to help the person to actually sell this property. So if you buy land and you want to develop it as stories, apartments, or whatever, kudos to you. It's fantastic. That is the way to go. And in fact, that is the trend now. As I was saying, what is the use buying land and building 6 5-bedroom house, 1 6 5-bedroom house in it, when you can build apartments? So what you're doing is fantastic. I think I'd clap for you on that. As your second, so go ahead and do it. It's your dream. You can do it. But you need to go into the developer mindset that if you're developing the land, all we ever think about as developers in Ghana, because we've come from the individualistic mindset of Misi 5 6 bedroom, we are not thinking about commercialization. If you're thinking, you're building stories on it, then think about how are you going to finance it. I said Ghanaians, Americans are great at making sure that properties are marketed even before they put the brick on the ground. So do your homework and see properties now basically ubeja for yourself, but you also have to sell some, because in selling some, you can release money from buyers to be able to finance the property. And we work with financial houses in Ghana and in the UK, but particularly in Ghana, where if you're building such a commercial entity, you've already done your marketing, you're raising finance, they can help you raise the money to complete it, because who buyers already? You've got ready buyers. So it's a good thing you do. And that is what we do as Angel Finance. We will put you in the right places, help you with the business planning, the financial architecture that would allow you to not be working 10, 50 hours a day and putting the money into the stories that you're going to build. Finance it. Have a commercial entrepreneurship mindset when you're building it. Don't keep all the properties to yourself. Sell 50% of it. And because you're selling 50% of it, you can get money very quickly from buyers, and then the financial houses can step in. I hope I've answered your question.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, Frank. Yeah, that's it. Also, with the question. Mr. Oppong, this question goes to you. I have uncompleted building.
I'm the only one here.
Can you hear me?
You said this question goes to you. I said I'm the only one here.
Nice one. I have uncompleted building in Kumasi. Can your company help finish it and use it for Airbnb? If yes, how much is your percentage? How much percentage will the company takes, and what will be the deal?
At the moment, we are not financing. We started financing people's properties, and our people, so and it happened in the UK too. And at the moment, we are not financing real estate companies, real estate development. But if you want to raise finance, we can work with you and find the right financial institution for you. But then they have their own criteria that you have to meet to be able to get the money to complete. So if you want to raise finance to complete a project and commercialize it, monetize the property, there are financial institutions who say, okay, if again, it comes to the financial architecture, the business plan. What are the numbers? What are the numbers saying? If the numbers are in the right direction, a lot of financial institutions, our few financial institutions in Ghana, would be able to work with you help you to raise finance, home completion loans, and all of those things to help you finance it because they know they are going to get their monies back. Bank or business owner, tomato seller, pepper seller, okra seller, money when they know they cannot get it back. So every financial institution, including real estate, that is how they think.
Right. Benjamin, and so say, I built apartments in 2008 in Kumasi, and even then I could see the business strategy of apartments. I was only 25 years of age. Not just say Benjamin, so say as at 208. No, it means apartment, a business, kesiye pa, ewo my Ghana mu, and into a CBI, just say, we say by now, dear, or Sahon and Quine. Talking about uncompleted buildings, Mr. Oppong, share yenya yewa bruche hanum na, I will say, yeah, do na, yes, see a danya, edu, pempensubi, yentimi enwie. Talking about. Talking about working with financial institutions, what would be your advice for those who are having uncompleted projects hanging, not knowing what to do with it?
Well, I think if you have got an uncompleted project, property project, and you want to complete it, first of all, as I said, what is your game plan? If you're just going to complete it to go and live in it, then I don't think you get a financial institution that wants to give you money to complete it, because where is the money going to come from? Unless you are really doing some big job in the UK and all that crap, they would want to go through your financial, personal finance to make sure so you can afford it. Yeah. But if you're going to commercialize it, if number one, it's in a good location. Number two, it's structured in a way, me, I started at home because apartments now, apartments maybe to raise money. And thirdly, you can complete the apartments on time to make sure that you've sold some and you are also, renting some there. Then you're likely to get a financial institution that would bail you out. In the UK, we call something bridging loan. Bridging loan is when interest is high, but because you want to complete. But once you complete, the money will come back. Yeah, so the rates in Ghana are not cheap. They rate from right now from 13% to 16% sometimes on the dollar. But hey, it's a bitter pill you've got to take. So long as you've got an exit strategy in place that me take $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, maybe Ghana in 6 months, 1 year, and then I can sell or rent it out to make money to pay the bill. That's fine.
Somebody's also asking, do you provide help, guidance, consultancy, or advice to people trying to set up a CQC care work company in the UK?
Absolutely, yes. Our business, the Care Business Academy, one of my companies, we help set up healthcare businesses, supported living, domiciliary care or home care. And we go through from start to finish, setting up the company, all the marketing, the website, brochures, blah, blah, blah. We also take you through the CQC regulatory framework, the CLOEs. We do the policies, procedures for you, and we do the DBS for all your staff, the key staff, and for the registered manager, there is a requirement for the registered manager too. That requirements that the CQC expects of a registered manager. You've got to have level 5 leadership and management. So all of that we help you do before we apply for the CQC registration. And for CQC registration, they will need to come around and see your outfit, what you're doing, and inspection before they actually stamp and say you're good to go. If you're doing supported living without care, sometimes you can get away with the CQC bit and just do accommodation for people with learning difficulties, elderly, people from ages 18 to 24, independent living, and mental health. But if you're doing supported living with care, or you're doing domiciliary care agency where you go to people's homes and give them care medication, then you need CPC registration, and we take you through all of that. So yes, we do, but it will cost you an arm and a leg. Then you're cheap.
I think this show is a property show. In the half of no, Miss Remwa Munshia on Wednesday, Nienka CQC, no one sem honomo. Moya take you over. Anyway, Miss Oppong, people are asking you to put your contact details in the chat room so that they can contact you later on after the show. And I just want to remind you also that on every Friday, UK time, 8 to 9, we have a show called Ask the Lawyer. Ask the Lawyer all your UK immigration issues. We have lawyer Wisdom Akaho, who will be joining us tomorrow in the evening between 8 and 9. So if you are free, you are all invited to join us every Friday with lawyer Wisdom Akaho, Ask the Lawyer show. And so on every Wednesday, we have OTF Talk. OTF Talk. Your well-being is our concern. So we are also using this platform to promote health. So please join us every Wednesday between 8 and 9. 8 and 9. And I will be share Dr. Akosua and Abina talking all about health, and to make a date with us every Wednesday 8 and 9, and every Friday Ask the Lawyer 8 and 9, and definitely every Thursday time with Tap Send. Said you share in or any question be Mr. Douglas Oppong ewa hanomo obetimi answer or question no at the amount and chibia the section you be see na afe the Tap Send focus section no at the atwaso amount. Yemfa Liz. Liz, BM, unmute yourself now for a question, bro.
William Pacho, Mr. Oppong, be nice me, Mr. Nana Kwame see you. What's in the day? No, yeah, we crab. I say, when him saying, I do a bet in a moon, Nancy. And help be or be bet to me. Abwana complete in a chess a beer 3 to 5 years no woman no. I take you over coping to betu or music and afi waje ne dime back. Is there something like that?
Liz, thank you. We used to do those things, but like I said, no, I know I just can and see if it's near completion, my Jammy details, I've left my details there. Email me, DM me, WhatsApp, I'm on WhatsApp, and then I'll get to know the particular circumstance of this case. And if there's any help we can offer, we will definitely be able to help them. Because if it's almost completed, then maybe after completion, the furnishing and all of those things, and how you're going to stage it for the market. So all of those we can help, but I need to know the particular case before we can, give you any particular answer.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Liz. Me as I said, Wabusa ama onyonkono. Mr. Oppong, it looks like uncompleted projects, but up. When so able to say, I have been trying to sell my uncompleted property in Kumasi. Very nice area for a while now. No buyer as it stands now. Any advice?
Well, there is a lot of uncompleted buildings. Like I said, it's a tsunami. It's a tsunami in Ghana. The advice I will give you is there are home completion loans by some of these financial institutions. I don't know if the person has approached some of the financial institutions about the home completion loan. But again, it all comes down to what is your game plan? Is your game plan to build a 5-6 bedroom house to come and live in it? If it's a 5-6 bedroom house, that it's an individual home, then financial institutions sometimes struggle to give you money to finish it, because the question is, where is the money going to come from? So if they don't know where the money is going to come from, then it will be very difficult to raise finance. And even if a lender is going to give you, like we used to do, giving people money to complete and they never completed, it'd be great this kind of boss. Or they call Dubai, no, call Chile. So you need to have a game plan. If you have a game plan, then I'm sure if you approach us privately, we can look at your circumstance and see if we can help you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Pacha from Doris. Na
Doris.
If you knew dear, Kumasi. Na a 5-bedroom big house, but
outside bed, Kumasi.
When? Apromasi.
Where is that?
Tech so.
Okay, yeah.
I saw that area. Now, see our customer no ama a convince me because is there a way I say bet me I into apartments? Because they say plan no is on the ground story building. And I was just thinking, say, how can we make it into apartment? Because that is half of me manage to start that Ben I walk out to Ghana any idea no. You know, in a way you have convinced me.
Yeah. I think it's a lot of people have that problem, but the good thing is somewhere in a story. But somewhere in apartments there, and that's I feel more ground floor there, then get structural engineers to go and see how they can reinforce the foundation. Okay? You see, construct and cost much. It's the land that is expensive. Abrochre, it's the all skyscrapers. 1 acre, 90 by 90, only see 20 floors. Young one had a pastor, so 90 by 90, near see one property. So if that is the case, you can actually build 3 floors, ground, first, second, third floor. Now what you apartments, 1 and 2 beds, new studios, whatever combination, you can do that. But get structural engineers. Now, reinforcing foundations. The ammonia and course it's easy to do it. Normally reinforcing foundations in a way, when they become one. Across the dominoes, no somebody become now on that basis, no, your game plan has changed from just a story building for your family because you're not going to go live there to a commercial entity. And also, once you start to think like that, you have an exit strategy. Your exit strategy is to sell some of those apartments and to keep some of those apartments. And so financing that is easy. It's not going to be that difficult compared to if you are building a story building, you're going to go and live in it. We don't know where the money is going to come from. I hope you find something.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is good. Reinforce the foundation. Get an architect to redesign the plan to reinforce the foundation and see how many more apartments you can put on that land. Maybe I'm going choose a 3-bedroom, 3-bedroom apartment. Yeah, can you make money from it? Use it as your ATM cash machine.
Thank you.
Say, property no so ben taking kwade. I can say for a fact say the demand is there. Demand
you already got the market. So would the any issue cry?
Right. When so busa Sally Mefas is here. Obusa said, how does 1 minute. Okay. How does leasehold work in Ghana? Can you get 100+ years lease?
Nepa possible. Nepa possible. It's not possible.
But Obusa said, how does it work?
Well,
leasehold.
Like I said before, the developer, if you buy from a developer, the developer got the land from the family, the chief, the family, the kingdom, whatever. And so they have an arrangement with the developer. And they are giving you a portion which is based on what they have. There's something called in Latin, nemo dat quod non habet. You cannot give what you don't have. So if the developer hasn't got 70-year lease from the family, they can't give you 70-year lease. And so even the developer got it for 70 years, and their building period took them 3 years. That's 3 years of the 70. So the developer cannot give you even 70. They'll probably give you 65 years lease so that they have 2 years to play with. And that is how the leases work in Ghana. But if you are a foreigner, you can't prove that you're Ghanaian. We need address, we need Ghana card, we need Ghana passport. Now we're a foreigner there. And they will lease now, I'm the 50 years. And you can't challenge it. Yeah, so that is how the leases work. But I'm not a lawyer. I only know finance and real estate. So if it's something that you really want to know much about, I've got lawyers I work with in Ghana, and I can send you their contact details, and you can work with them. In fact, I'll put the lawyers' details in the chat box if you need any help with them.
All right. From now on to the end of this month, we will be talking a bit more on property investment in Ghana, and I will do my possible best to bring a lawyer as well on this show for us to talk a bit more in details when it comes to land issues in Ghana. And be looking out for a lawyer on this show very soon as well. Mr. Oppong, Enche, we will bring this section to a close, and we will continue with Tap Send Focus section. Before that, my main fast Sally Kwabina na mebusa question back when I ended this session. Sally, Bacho, you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Bacho, be nebisa question.
Hello, good evening, guys. Good evening. I've got a big question I just wanted to ask you. I literally just walked in and my mum was listening to this, so I thought, let me just take the opportunity and ask this question. I know it's probably been answered already, but please do pardon me. So what I wanted to ask was that I'm quite new to the property development game, and I'm looking to get into it. However, I just wanted to ask, where do I find the finance to get into that industry? And then where do you find all the resources and the right contacts? Is there any avenues where you can actually get these things? But most importantly, the finance bit.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch the whole thing. Could you just go over it again, please, if you don't mind?
So what I'm asking is, so basically, I'm quite new to the property game. I'm trying to get into the property development game in Ghana, actually, by building like bigger, like commercial buildings and all of that, or even provide residents, do you know what I mean? A PMO skill. However, I'm trying to find where to find the finance, do you know what I mean? To basically do the project, and where do I get the resources? Where do I get the resources to carry such a project?
Okay. What do you do here in the UK, please, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I do a little bit of buying and selling here and there, a little bit of quack, you know what I mean? So,
no, you can't do quack in property development in Ghana.
Well, I do. I'm into the property.
You can't. Property development is not quack business. It's real serious financial business.
Yeah,
so
I'm into the property. I'm into the property industry here myself. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm into the property business here myself.
I think for property development in Ghana, it's a different kettle of fish. It's easier in Ghana to do property development than it can in the UK because of land issues here in the UK or even in America. But and also the specifications, architectural, blah, blah, blah. But in Ghana, if you want to finance the development, to raise finance, first of all, you need to put your money in it first. You have to have a skin in the game by having the initial bulk capital to buy the land to start the project to a certain level. You can only get finance when, like you go to any bank, any business, they ask you, you want $100,000. they ask you, how much of the money do you yourself have? So if you want to do property development and you're looking for $500,000 and you yourself can't cough up $250,000, then they'll be asking when when things go wrong, you're just going to walk away and their money will be stuck. So to do property development is a serious financial business commitment, and you need to have the capital to start the business. Once you start or you have the capital in your bank account, you're going to go and do the development. Then you can start looking for different variables like off-plan purchase by people who want to buy. They'll bring their monies in, installment payment. And once banks know that you have got a set of buyers who are coming in, that is how real estate developers in Ghana, I can tell you, 90%, 99% of the real estate developers in Ghana don't have all the money. No, they don't have the money. And it's the same with the UK. No developer has all the money. They take money from buyers. They have a product, and that's why they market before they even go to lay brick down. So that is your answer. You need to have the bulk of the money, and you need to have ready buyers who would buy, and then the banks can say, maybe you got 2/3 of it. 1/3 would help you to complete. But you can't just go into property development with nothing. You can't do quack with development.
All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. Let me take my last question. Kwabena. Kwabena, please unmute yourself and have a question, bro.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening,
sir. I don't know whether to speak Twi or speak English, but
English, please.
A lot of people don't understand the language.
Yeah, speak English so that everybody can understand.
English. Right. Because of the leasing issues that Mr. Douglas touched on, which is better, buying your own property and developing it, or buying from an estate developer? Which is better?
Well, with my experience in Ghana now, if I buy land, and I've just bought land in, was it Liz or Lydia? I've just bought land in Daba new site in Kumasi to develop. I'll be developing it into apartments. So I'm also in the game in Kumasi. But if I'm not buying land to develop, I'll be buying from a real estate developing company. It's easier, it's simple, you can navigate the rules, so long as you hold their feet to fire. That's all. Ghanaians don't like accountability. When you hold them accountable, they think you're challenging them. Ghanaians like to be post-conscious, title-conscious. So when you hold their feet to fire, they think you're being disrespectful, you're challenging them. But once you go through the issues of sale, the sale contract, management contract, everything, the advertisement, everything, hold their feet to fire, and then you should be fine. I think I would rather buy than actually buy property, a land to go and build if I'm going to just live in it. But if I'm going to do it as a commercial entity, then buying your own land, of course, is better. You can't buy a property from somebody and use it as a commercial. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. I mean, the reason I asked that is over here in the UK, when you buy a property, sometimes you have 990 years of lease. And like you touched on, as the lease reduces, you got to buy more lease. It costs a lot of money buying more lease.
I've touched on that.
Whereas in Ghana, it's completely different ballgame. Like you said, if you buy from an estate developer, you get less lease, like 50 years if you are a foreigner, or maybe 60 or whatever if you are Ghanaian. What happens if the lease runs out? Do you have to purchase more lease in Ghana?
Well, exactly. As they do in the UK on America, if the lease runs out, you don't wait till the lease runs out. If the lease runs out, the property has zero equity. Nobody's going to buy a property that the lease has run out. So as soon as the lease goes to maybe 40 years, 30 years, thereabout in Ghana, if you've got a 50-year lease, and if you've got a 65, 70-year lease, as soon as the lease goes to 40 years, thereabout, you have to start thinking about renewing it. Because if you're going to go, like I said, the secondary market is not very fluid. So if somebody's going to buy a property that they've already bought 5 years ago, they want to find out if the lease is okay for them. And if the lease is less, they will not buy the property. It's the same in the UK. The lease is smaller. You have to reduce the price because they will spend money to top up the lease. So it's better if you watch the lease and then you increase the lease before you even sell it. So yeah, it's the same as in the UK. You have to top up.
So it's better buying your own plot of land, build it.
Ideally, if that's what you want to do, but buy your own plot of land. Remember, these days, there's also issues with land issues in Ghana, and I don't know where you're going to buy, or in Accra, but in other places, it's okay. And also how you're going to be building the property. It just depends on what your game plan is. If your game plan is to build a retirement home, hallelujah. If your game plan is to build a holiday home where you'll be going and coming, that property should be making you something. And I think buying is better than building.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Thanks for answering the question for us. But could you also please put your details on the chat?
I have already, I've put them several times.
It just disappeared quickly, and a lot of us, we still working, so we couldn't quite get it. So if you can happily do that again, we'll be grateful for that. Thank you.
That's fine. No problem at all. I appreciate your question. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Oppong, and you may say, Liz, Simon is so quick one now for me for section way in bra area. Man, Liz, badger yet you.
Mr. Oppong, wait a quick one.
Liz, I saw the call lunch. This is the third one.
Me do be ko Kumasi shiame. Anyway, yes, a quick one. Timudia mam kanintem. Sebia Liz yenim se or crewmany but was a year about 99 years or 100 years. Nayama 50 years. I know so most of them will want more money. Do you give them more money, or you have to tell them that they cheated you by giving you that 50 years on your lease?
Well, it depends on the landowners, what the original landowners had. As I said in Latin, nemo dat quod non habet. You cannot give what you don't have. So if the seller of the property to you or the land to you hasn't got 90 years lease, they cannot give you 90 years lease.
No, this is the chief or the queen, the people of the land.
Chief,
it wasn't
the family. They decide how many years lease they want to give you. So you really cannot challenge them if you're getting the land directly from the family, the chief, the kingdom. But what you can do is to persuade them. At that section, it is not about you've cheated me. It's about persuasion. You persuade them and give them some more money to increase the lease for you. And Ghanaians listen to more money than anything else. So if you dig your pocket deep into your pocket and you tell them, look, I want to increase the lease to 90 years. They would probably say, oh, Debbie, this is what we've always done it. But you say, oh, look, I'm exceptional. I want to do this my way. And so you give them some money. They would increase it for you. So at that stage, if you're buying from the chiefs and they're giving shorter than you think it is, it's all about persuasion, how you deal with them.
Thank you. So you don't have to go and find out whether they gave somebody 99 and they gave you 50.
Do find out. If you found that they gave somebody 99, they gave you 50, then obviously you have a ground to stand on. But even that, go with persuasion in hand, notified, because they own the
money.
Yeah. It's all money.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem at all.
Yo, I was there for a Hanomo and every my whole client, yade lawyer Douglas. I call him my personal lawyer, so he's not a lawyer. Mr. Douglas
I've never done law practice in my life. But yes, I've been in all the courts in East London and Essex. I've attended courts all the time. So that's why he calls me a lawyer. Yeah.
Mr. Oppong, lawyers, the numbers now more. Especially
but the lawyer's number is not so. E&O solicitor lawyers, a friend Emmanuel, Where? They're in Ghana. They are my personal lawyers, and they are extremely, extremely good.
Are they in Kumasi or Accra?
They're in Accra, yeah. But they operate across the country, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're extremely real estate. In fact, he'll be here in the UK. There is an Africa Property Awards going on the 20. I think between 23rd and 26th of April at Wembley. Do make it a point to attend. You will meet some of these people from Ghana. They're coming from Ghana, the lawyers. Come meet them and have a chat with them. And I think it will be a great place for you to come and meet some of these real estate people as well coming from Ghana. So don't forget, around 24th to 26th of April, you should come to that event.
Mr. Oppong, I advert here, we are my invoice. All right, Mr. Wa.
Oh, so me boy Crawford. Me I have no skin in the game.
I was there for a hanamo and a brebe my whole quiet day, Mr. Douglas Oppong, ABC, and a mijidi say near ye di hun komwe aye insura bebre at the amount. But before he will go, I'll ask him to give us his last words before he will go. Then we will continue with Chapter 7 focus section. Mr. Oppong, your last words.
I've lived in the UK for 33 years. And if you take a lot of the Africans who live here, the names are the ones who like to go back home and do something. I know Nigerians very well. Nigerians do that. A lot of Africans. But Ghanaians have a particular thing. And it is excellent. But Benjamin Breno, a chem, and all those things. So if you're going to buy a property in Ghana, if you're going to build a property in Ghana, just call us. We'll give you free advice. But if you're a homeowner in Ghana or Ghana, or you want to buy apartments in Ghana, please don't go and make mistakes that we have made. Okay? Don't reinvent the wheel. Call me, call our team. We'll help you to make the right decisions. And if you've got properties that you want to use for short-term Airbnb, turn it an ATM machine. I've put a link there. Register, and we will help you to navigate the ropes of safe property investment in Ghana. I'm so happy to be here, and thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you, Kwame.
We are more than privileged to have you this evening again on this platform to talk to us about property investment in Ghana. We are so grateful to you, and thank you for coming. God bless you, sir. Yo, observe for Mr. Douglas Oppong and I know education and come Yadana say Sabrina na say a friend on so oba na onye eba betwetwe nkomo e wo dwumadi so. Sabri medane me ho na mafan krato ba ku mienu. When I come back, ora A class ebetina seat ni mo na ode chapter 7 focus section no e dia brain. So and I maybe a breakout room. Say or any particular issue with your chapter 7 account, go to breakout room 1. Our customer service team will be there to assist you. Again, if say be our platform so na on joining OT Media WhatsApp platform na very simple. This platform nye bibia also there and say when we are about to start a program, we will send you a notification so that we remind you for you to join us for all our programs. And intimately may share OT Media WhatsApp platform no link in the chat room. Just click on the link and join. And abribia program bia and you sending notification. I also when you know kai with me I join in. Shannon to say on every Friday bia no time ask the lawyer. The lawyer wisdom akahoba na UK immigration issues so abecheche mu e de achire and into a chance so he will be coming on this platform between 8 and 9. So you can join us between 8 and 9. From yesterday and draft. Every Wednesday, we are going to have OT Health Talk. OT Health Talk. Lawyer Akosia and Abina will also help us to improve our health conditions. And intimisrewa bomodiana sharing every Wednesday. Sabri, we do ACA, ye Daniel, ye Bape, tap send focus section and I did to us near B breaker room 1 and so the amount. Bedasi.
Mr. Mankwa, me office was saying this cabane de any project no. And so the be me office kamania wo problem.
Enemremu. Na monte tap sending kan.
No so ne de.
Tap send ye easy, fast and secured way. Ubetimi send this free amanone. Aba Ghana bank account and as a mobile money account. Untia transfer fee bia.
Sir, I obey any say.
Chine say won ko App Store na Play Store. On download the tap send app no. Or download ya. Ebebu sanso promo code. O ma the pet TV shim. Obenya €5, £5, and answer $10 on his first transfer.
And you make kwa friend a catch them.
Tabi minyanwe. Esansa tap send at the good news aba. Tap send the giving customers wanti or the tap send wallet aba.
I know about anything.
So your customer who you cases here. Ubetimi akọ tap send app no wa create wallet woso. Enti se rate ne kosora now the sika kogu wallet no. Anase mpo betimi atu susu nkakra. Enti abre sema opeso send sika ba Ghana no. No anse wa send sika na ba Ghana. Anase oba o my Ghana mu. What me use sika e wa wallet no no. Tie. And
you said to say you use momo Ghana hey no.
Sa pepe. Se si tap send that trainer shim. Copy mo United Arab Emirates, Netherlands and Austria. Tap send na. Papa no.
This is Lawyer Wisdom of Wise-Smart Solicitors. Join me this and every Friday on OT TV from 8 to 9 p.m. for all your UK immigration matters. I hope to see you there. Thank you.